Okay, I'm going to talk about a little bit tonight about something that's close and near to me, and it's Exodus 20, the Ten Commandments. Um, God gave Moses these Ten Commandments for us to try to live by, a foundation for us to live by, and I try to live by them, but I want to go over the Ten Commandments tonight. The first one says, "You shall have no other gods before me." And a lot of people have different gods. They have a god of the air, a god of the water, a god of thunder, a god of fire, and a god of the trees. And if they want those gods, that's fine. But for me personally, I believe that there's only one God, and it's the God of Moses, the God of Abraham, and the God of David. The second one is, you shall not make for yourself an idol in the form of anything. And for them, it was the golden calf. But for today, it could be anything. That could be your wife, your husband, your children, your car, your job, your diamond and rings, anything that's going to anything that you put between you and your relationship with God. So that's the second one, I feel like. The third one is, you shall not misuse or take the Lord's name in vain. And I don't like hearing the GD word. I never have, and I don't want to hear it. I would rather, it just makes me physically ill to hear it. Remember the Sabbath and day by keeping it holy, and that's something that I have failed to do because I have worked over 1,000 hours a year, sometimes overtime, and most of my days that I've worked, if there was a Sunday or a weekend, I'd work it. And if anybody was going to go to hell for working on the Sabbath, it'd be me. I would already be smelling like smoke, and I'd catch fire. That's how many Sabbaths I've had worked on. But I haven't kept that one holy. Honor your father and your mother. That's a lot of times that people just don't do today. They don't honor their father and their mother. They hate them. They backtalk them. They ridicule them. They disobey them, and they don't honor them. They don't respect them or anything. And that's just the way things are today, and it's getting worse and worse. And also, the next one is, you shall not murder. Thou shalt not kill. And if you hate someone in your heart, you're killing them already. If you hate someone, you're murdering them over and over in your heart. You're a murderer, and you don't know it. And the next one is, the number 7 is, you shall not commit adultery. And physically, I have to say, physically, I haven't done that. But I've been tempted lots and lots and lots of times. But I mean, that's something that I'm glad I'm happy I'm married. I'm happily married with a family. And that's something that God's kept me from doing physically. And I'm thankful of that. And it says also, the next one is number 8. It says, you shall not steal. The only thing, it's talking about stealing, and there's a lot of thievery today. Wealthy people do it, poor people do it, middle class people do it. There's so much of that going on today. I mean, thou shalt not steal. If a preacher was to preach against stealing out of the pulpit, surely he would probably be stoned or even lose his job. But that's sort of common, just to take things from other people. And it says, thou shalt not steal. The 9th one is, you shall not give false testimony against your neighbor. And going and gossiping against your neighbor, or slandering them, or talking trash about them. There's so much of that going on today. I mean, I live in a small neighborhood in a rural town. I mean, in a country town, and I'm so glad that I don't have to put up with that, because I don't talk about my neighbors, and I don't like them. I don't like hearing about neighbors this and neighbors that, and I don't like the gossip and stuff. I just rather not hear it. It's not uplifting. It's not encouraging. The next one is, the 10th one is, that you shall not covet. And I'm guilty of that, because I've coveted a lot from what other people have. And there's a lot of coveting around here in this world today. People are envious of everything that everybody has. But the Bible says in the 10th commandment, thou shalt not covet. So anyway, I wanted to share that because the 10 commandments are dear to my heart and near and dear to my heart. And God gave that to Moses to give to the children of Israel, the Jews, when they came out of Egypt. So hopefully, this is help encourage someone. I'll go touch base with the other commandments later. Jesus gave 2 of them, but